Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Pyrography for Beginners and Beyond. Neil from Flames Pyro Art back with you again on Captain America. This is going to be quite a brief video today entitled Blocking In. Blocking in is when we start to build our picture and our body structure on a piece of art. Like I've got this Captain America laid out, which you may only be able to see very faintly. So at this stage of the piece, what I'm looking to do is find those dark spots, i.e. just blocking them in, blocking in the shadows, blocking in the deeper pieces of like shading, you know, where say a piece of clothing might stick over the top of another and there's like a ridge. Let me just show you if this picture is a bit damaged now because I spilled some water on it. But see here how we've got the dark patches where the uniform is like layered, which is around here, so we can block in these areas. And as we start blocking in and just looking for the folds and the pleats and all that stuff, we start drinking in the image in our mind's eye of how this piece is going to look, or how we want it to look once we're finished. Now I'm using my medium space shader and I have my heat setting at just over 3. So I'm going at this very gently at the moment. This is quite a crucial stage if you're looking to create a highly detailed piece of art. You certainly do not want to rush this stage. This is quite an important part of the design process. So all I'm looking for is shapes, folds where there are like different levels of material that I can get underneath and capture the shadowing, so I can make them have more depth and detail and pop to them once the piece comes together more. So I'm just using the very tip of my pen. You may think this is like outlining, but it actually isn't, because this is what's going to be underneath. Like let's say for example this strap that's coming around the arm. There's this piece of material here which is raised up higher than the suit of armour underneath. So I'm capturing that shadow, that area where there's less light getting into the piece. Running down here. I do this very gently because those transfer lines you spent all that time putting down, you know, and it's quite a laborious job, isn't it, doing the transfer at times. You know, we just want to itch to get into our wood burning, but we spend all this time laying out the image. I'm sorry, I've got my... Let me just see where we're at. Okay, I think we're okay on the camera. Sorry, I've got wires everywhere. Let me just get rid of some of these wires. Yeah, so we spend all this time laying out this transfer. The last thing we want to do now is rush this and spoil what we've done so far. And we'll do it very lightly to start with, as we build that mental image of all these little pieces. I like to look at it as a jigsaw, and our job is to try and build this jigsaw picture. And over time, as we slowly work our way around all these shadow areas and find the different ridges, contours, the body line, it will all start coming together, and we can then start really getting into the good stuff. So this is a stage you can sort of relax. You still want to take time, make sure your hand is steady, make sure you don't make any silly mistakes. Look at your reference picture to start you off if need be, especially on something as intricate as this, when he's got so much going on this uniform he wears. I am using a reference picture this time, where quite often I will ditch the reference and just work from my mind's eye. But with this one, with so much going on this uniform, I feel that isn't an option available to me. So I'm just trying to figure out the shapes, and we're going to be moving our board around quite a lot at this stage. Here we've got the arm, and then in here there are creases in the uniform. There were, like, you know, little indentations on, I think it would be like sort of a leathery uniform that he'd be wearing. So there will be all sorts of different levels, you know, and little folds here and there. You may not be able to see that I'm actually doing much at this stage, I don't know, but I just did want to briefly talk about blocking in the early stages of any new piece of art. We can get so keen to dive in there, can't we, and, you know, get stuck in. You know, we're itching to get into the really detailed stuff. But this can really make or break a piece of art, and I'd rather try and make it than break it. Sometimes you put a piece of paper underneath your hand, so when you are working on top of your transfer, you're not rubbing off your transfer lines. You can buy gloves, special gloves that you put over your hand, and it'll stop you rubbing off any of the graphite that you've laid down over them hours of drawing round your template to get these lovely patterns down onto the wood. But right now I'm not overcommitting myself to anything. I'm simply looking for the dark patches that I'm confident to say, okay, I can shade there, because I know it's a piece of shadowing from a material that sticks above it. You see here, for example, this is where the arm sits behind the front of the body. So there's going to be some shade variances there that are going to be great to get into a bit later on in the piece. This is quite a deep fold here as it goes round, you know, as it comes out from underneath the arm, and then it comes up the side over the top. You always try and think about things in a more three-dimensional scale. So don't look at it as this arm as something flat. Look at it as something that is three-dimensional. And you'll begin to see those subtle variances in shade that can transform something that looks very flat on a piece of birch ply board to something that'll really pop and stand out, you know, and have great detail and realism to it. Also with a picture, there's another key little element, which is where your light is coming from. You will see quite early on where the light is coming from. Let's say for it, and then I'm just going to show you this rough picture again. Obviously the light is hitting round here, isn't it? So the light is coming in around this area, or the offside. There's not much light there, it's a much darker tone, so the light is all coming down this side of the body. On the helmet itself, obviously the light is bouncing off the top. We've got a nice highlight area. The sides are darker. We have little lighter patches where the contours above the eyebrows and things are. So we're always looking for where our light is coming from, where the light is showing the most. Offside is darker. Near side on this one where the light is coming from was going to be that shade lighter. So understanding where your light is, where it's coming from, how it affects the piece of art you're doing is something, you know, a skill to learn, something to be able to read, where you can just look at a piece of art and read the lighting and the shaping. So I'm going to move my picture again out of the way. Hopefully we're okay on camera. I don't know if this is going to be too dark because it's quite early in the morning still. I usually tend to find I can do my best work or get in the zone early in the morning. Don't know why that song's just popped in my head, and I know he's a controversial figure. Rolf Harris, remember that song, Sunrise, early in the morning? I don't know why that just popped in my head then. But I do love the mornings. I'm definitely an early bird. I'm a bit of a lie-in though today. I think it was about 5:30, something like that. I got up, which is a good lie-in for me. And follow those contours when you're blocking in. It's no good going in a straight line or whatever. Follow it round, and then as we start to build the piece more and more later, let's say for example here on this piece of belt I've put down, we would know later on in the piece that it would be darker and deeper right off to the side. So they're little things that we're looking for. So that is a very brief video this morning, as I know I left you a marathon video yesterday, and I do apologise for it being so long. The video yesterday, I got completely carried away, lost with time, got so engrossed in what I was doing, and I know an hour and 15 minutes is far too long for a video, so I do apologise. I know I did put some time lapse down, but I only did that so those who had followed the basics of blending and shading could actually see it put into practice. You know, the things I was explaining through the video, you could actually see it being done in a as quick a manner as I could. I could have maybe made it faster, but then it would have been such a blur, you wouldn't have really been able to see much. So I shall get on with blocking in Captain America, and then we'll find some more areas to talk about, different things to look at, how we can show so much more detail by reading the picture, by reading the different shading tones, and hopefully we will end up with a cool piece of art at the end of it, all being well, touch wood. Right, have a great day guys, and that said, this was just a very brief discussion on blocking in, which is the first stage of the main piece of art. Just search out those shadows, search out those different levels, and and start to build a mental image in your mind of what your piece of art is going to look like. Okay, have a great day, everybody. I'm going to have some fun starting to build Captain America. Okay, so I'll speak to you all soon. Take care for now. Bye.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.